Please, human, could you help the mutant baby dragon brought her sick dragon mother? Beginning. The wasteland stretched for endless miles, scarred by centuries of wars between species. Ash-blackened skies hung low, hiding the faint shimmer of the twin moons behind shifting veils of smoke. Once, this planet had been called Valora, known as the Cradle of Dragons. Now, it was little more than a battlefield where humans, androids, and surviving mutant creatures scrounged for life. Kale Winters trudged through the ruins of a collapsed research station, his respirator hissing with each breath. He was a scavenger, one of the many who made their living by recovering fragments of forgotten technology. But unlike others, Kale wasn't greedy. He scavenged not for riches, but for knowledge. His late mother had been a xenobiologist, and she had raised him to respect all forms of life, even the monstrous ones people feared. As he sifted through cracked consoles, his wrist scanner beeped sharply. A faint life signature. 2 of them were approaching. He froze. The wastelands were filled with raiders, and if they caught him alone, he'd be nothing but bones by sunrise. He reached for his plasma pistol, crouching low behind the rubble. That's when he heard it. A voice, not in the air, but inside his head. Please, human, could you help? Kale's breath caught. The words weren't harsh or threatening. They were trembling, weak, almost childlike. Slowly, from the smoke, 2 figures emerged, one small, limping, scales glowing faintly green, and another, massive, majestic, but collapsed in the dust. A dragon, the smaller one, a mutant baby dragon, staggered forward. Its wings were uneven, one malformed and bent at an angle, and its scales glowed irregularly, pulsing as though infused with unstable energy. Yet its luminous golden eyes were filled not with rage, but desperation. Behind it lay its mother, a great emerald dragon, though her body was torn with wounds, wings tattered, and her breath shallow. Dark veins pulsed across her scales, poison perhaps, or spreading infection. Please, human, the child's telepathic voice whispered again. She is dying. You can help. I know you can. Kale's pistol lowered. His instinct screamed at him to run. Humans who encountered dragons usually didn't live to tell the tale. But there was no hatred in those eyes. Only fear and hope. I don't even know if I can help, Kale muttered aloud, moored himself into them. Yet he found himself stepping forward. Middle. Kale worked quickly. His scavenger's kit spread on the ground beside the dragon mother. The poison coursing through her veins wasn't natural. His scanner detected traces of synthetic compounds, bioweapons designed by human laboratories during the Dragon Wars. You've been struck by hunter rounds, Kale whispered grimly. The toxins are designed to destabilize your biology, make regeneration impossible. The baby dragon, who called herself Lisha, watched with wide eyes. Can you save her? Kale hesitated. I can't promise, but I'll try. For hours he labored. He crafted a crude filtration device, extracting blood samples, analyzing them through his portable scanner. His mother's old teachings whispered in his mind. Every creature carries within it a will to live. Sometimes, all they need is someone to believe in it. As he worked, Lisha spoke to him through her thoughts. She told him how her kind had been hunted to near extinction, how dragons once ruled the skies freely, until humans feared their power and declared them monsters. How her mother had fought to protect her clutch, but only Lisha survived. You're different from the stories, Kale said softly, wiping sweat from his brow. The histories say dragons burn villages, eat humans, slaughter without thought. Lisha lowered her head. Some do, but most only fought because they were hunted first. We were driven from our skies. My mother, she never wanted war. She only wanted her children to live. Kale's chest tightened. His whole life, he had suspected that the stories humanity told about dragons were twisted to justify their destruction. Now, hearing it from Lisha confirmed what he had always feared, that his people had been the true monsters. Hours turned into a night. Kale mixed antidotes from his salvage, filtered through nanotech injectors, and fed small doses into the dragon mother's bloodstream. She stirred weakly, eyes flickering open. You're going to pull through, Kale whispered. But fate had other plans. The ground shook with distant engines. A piercing alarm blared from Kale's wrist scanner, approaching hostiles. Raiders? No, worse. A hunter unit, an automated war machine, rolled across the wasteland. Its sensors had locked onto the dragon's life signature. It was designed for one purpose: dragon extermination. Damn it! Kale cursed, grabbing his weapon. They must have picked up her heat signature. Lisha growled, trying to shield her mother, but she was too small. The machine towered over them, legs like jagged spears, cannons glowing. Kale's heart pounded. He couldn't fight alone. But running meant abandoning them. And after everything Lisha had shared, he couldn't betray her trust. He thought fast. Lisha, can you still use fire? Her malformed wings trembled. A little, but not much. That'll be enough. I'll draw its attention. You hit its core when I tell you. The battle was chaos. Plasma blasts ripped through the ruins, Kale dodging desperately, firing shots that barely dented the machine's armor. Sparks rained down as Lisha spat short bursts of green fire, forcing the hunter to redirect. At last, Kale climbed onto its back, planting an explosive charge from his salvage bag. Now, Lisha, he shouted. With a roar, the mutant baby dragon unleashed a final, burning blast into cracked armor. The explosion ripped through the machine, sending its smoking carcass collapsing into the dirt. Silence fell. Kale collapsed, coughing, his body aching. Lisha rushed to his side, pressing her scaled head against his chest. You saved us. No! Kale wheezed, looking at her, and then at her recovering mother. We saved each other. Ending. Days passed as Kale remained with the dragons, tending to the mother's wounds and sharing food with Lisha. Slowly, the great dragon began to heal, her poison veins clearing, her strength returning. When she could finally rise, she bowed her head low before Kale, a gesture of gratitude that no human had likely seen in centuries. You risked everything, she said, her voice echoing in his mind with deep resonance. You could have left us to die. Instead, you chose compassion. Kale shook his head. I didn't do it for reward. I did it because it was right. The mother dragon studied him with wise, ancient eyes. Perhaps there is still hope for your kind. Lisha pressed against Kale's side, eyes shining. Will you stay with us? Kale looked out across the wastelands. He knew what waited back in human settlements. Fear, suspicion, endless cycles of war. But here with them, he had found something rare: trust. I'll stay as long as you'll have me, he said quietly. And so began an unlikely bond. A human scavenger, a mutant baby dragon, and her one sick mother. Together, they wandered the wastelands, not as enemies, but as family. In time, Kale's knowledge of human technology and the dragon's ancient wisdom will become something greater, the foundation of peace. But for now, it was enough that one act of kindness had bridged a chasm carved by centuries of hatred. For in the end, it wasn't strength or war that had saved them. It was the simple plea of a child. Please, human, could you help? And Kale had answered.